All right, we came to an end of the lecture. So today we have seen techniques to do dimension reduction. So we have seen two techniques, principal component analysis and TSNE. Now, principal component analysis actually does something more than just dimension reduction. It can be used for dimension reduction, but it does more than that. So it is a linear transformation of the data that changes correlated variables to uncorrelated variables. And new uncorrelated variables sometimes can be even interpreted. So it is a very, very useful technique. While at the same time, principal component analysis very often is not really effective in visualizing the data, right? So in the sense that if the data are highly non-linear, then using it to just plot the first two principal components may not really be a big help. So TSNE is more specialized, so you cannot really interpret TSNE, but it does a very good job in visualizing data sets in small dimensions, and it does a very good job in producing new variables that can be used to somehow capture whatever happens in the data. Now, when we do not have a response variable, so when we do unsupervised learning, a good idea is to do clustering. So it means grouping together similar observations. And we have seen two methods, two techniques, two algorithms for clustering, k-means and hierarchical clustering, and they have their advantages and disadvantages. So in k-means, the huge problem is to choose the good value of k, right? There is no universally accepted system. Well, I mean, there are some approaches. So you can Google how to do it, but it's a bit of a magic. It's kind of a voodoo. So in hierarchical clustering, we do not actually choose the value of k, so it produces the output for all possible values of k from 1 to n at the same time, and we just see them all in one plot. That is called a dendrogram. So that's the advantage of hierarchical clustering. At the same time, hierarchical clustering produces nested clusters, and sometimes nested clusters are not really consistent with real properties of data. So both techniques have their own advantages and disadvantages. And this is the list of concepts that we learned in today's lecture. So this is the end of lecture 8. Thank you for your attention.